guys seen the flyer that was handed out for the show and tell. So today you guys are gonna be doing a show and tell for each other. Why don't you guys talk about what you're gonna do for UW Availus, and we'll also go over the NGLU expectations, code of conduct, and the do's and don'ts theory to be successful. When you guys are in your own individual environments, speak up. And remember that eye contact. Always have great eye contact. And when you greet someone, greet them the way the NGLU has taught you guys to greet someone. Greet them with a handshake and eye contact, okay? And it's never a bad idea when appropriate to show a smile, right? It just shows that you're open and you're warm to receiving, that invitation, that handshake, okay? So that's lesson 101, okay, for you guys to continue to be successful. Why don't we start our check-in while we're waiting on everybody? We'll start this way and go around, okay?
I didn't feel like internship that I could be a part of a climate change helping and become the involved in helping climate change and say myself finish Sweden. Way more social to new people, like opening up to new people. I have an interest in climate, like the way climate works.
One thing I learned about myself is I'm now very open to learning more about climate change and global warming and how I can make a difference.
Things I already know about myself and about climate change, I've just been able to talk about the war.
I've learned that using my resources as connections is really helpful.
One thing I learned about myself is I work pretty well with others, like lifting others.
One thing I learned about myself was that teamwork is more efficient in the long run.
That's phenomenal. Lincoln, thank you for joining us. We had our icebreaker. We'd like for you to share something that you've learned about yourself during your internship experience.
Being able to network, being able to talk to people, being able to ask lots of questions, and also just consistency in your work really makes you successful. So,
Lincoln echoed out exactly what Aisha said. It's resource, gaining a network. You never know, it's true out here, right? It's not necessarily the skills that you have, but it is critically important that you have a strong network so that you can tap on that door and say, Miss So-and-so, what opportunities do you have for me? I'm interested in so-and-so, right? That will get you in the door. Your network has more possibilities of getting you in the door where you want than sometimes the skill sets that you have, right? So resources, having a strong network, that's very important. Anything else that you guys would like to share about the experience that you've learned during your internship?
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sharing. What's up? We missing you.
How you doing, Andrea?
So we're doing our icebreaker. Share something that you've learned about yourself during your internship experience.
Liking more in the certain movie. They allowed me to do stuff about others, so I'm kind of learning how to become more as an adult and do my own thing instead of having to worry about other people and their schedules and being walked through and everything. So just kind of get my own independence.
Wow, that's huge. Growing from a teenager to a young man, right? That's wonderful. That's really excellent. Next on the agenda, we'll move into a breakout rooms where you guys can break out into your individual groups.
I got involved because I attend church here and met the Wilmores and was inspired by them, started volunteering for their program. I agreed to be a mentor because I used to be one of these kids, and people helped me out when I was a first-generation college student.
As a group, come back and tell us what Africatown is all about, what that is, right? What's going on at the William Growth Center. What kind of experiences that you guys are getting. Tell us about what Caldwell Banker Bain is, what hip hop is green and why is it called hip hop is green. I really want to gain clarity from your perspective of why it's called hip hop is green. And then UW Avila, tell us what UW Avila is all about, what you're learning as a group, what it represents as an organization. Come back and share. So one person will be assigned to be that spokesperson for that internship to share out. So you guys can select who that will be. And then we'll go into the next phase. So prepare your own individual highlights, your challenge, and insights on as an individual regarding your internship.
Well, I've known Kathy and Larry for years. They've known my family for years. That all were in church together, and I love the Father and the Son Together project, period. And then when they asked me to become a mentor, I said I would. I mean, I just love helping people, period. And youth is even more challenging and interesting for me.
I'll give you 5 minutes for you guys to kind of come up with your presentation.
Right, so to make the 5 hours, I will do the recordings of like a line of diagonal, right?
So prepare your own individual highlights, your challenge, your insight as an individual regarding your internship, okay? Africatown will be first. This is the alphabetical order. Colwell Baker Bain, hip hop is green, and then Avalance.
Africatown is a group of African American people that come together in the CD and just help the youth, empower the community. They have multiple businesses in the CD, and they just collaborate with one another, help each other, just help build our community. And they have various programs through computer science, biology, and clothing design, and just a whole bunch of different things. They host a lot of events there throughout the summer, the winter, I think in the spring too. They allow students to come there during the school year, just collaborate with one another, and just feed each other new information.
It's called William Gross Center. So like William Gross was a person who kind of helped enhance like Africatown, the whole like Central District area. So they kind of made this like building in honor of like his work that he did. Recently there was the F.A.S.T, so they took like huge part in that. And also with the kids, they also do like multiple programs as well. So they'll do like vinyls for like local communities, especially local communities of color, to kind of help them like bring awareness to like what their community is about. And also like, I would say like a fun fact is that it's where like the fire station used to be. So like across from the library, if you see that little fire station, people often go there and think it's like a museum, but really it's like the center, and they're kind of like remodeling it. So they're all about smart technology and like helping enhance the youth and teaching them about more sort of like AI technology, and also just like a safe place for classes as well. So everything that he covered.
At Africatown, I got to learn how to use the vinyl printer as well as the sewing machines. So something I really got to do a lot was print out some designs on my own shirts, and as well as embroider a couple of shirts as well. Yeah, that's something I got to do with fashion at the William Gross Center.
I got involved because I began worshiping at this church last winter, and I heard about the program, and that volunteers were needed to be here on Saturdays to help. They took us all in a room and said, we want you to be mentors. And I said, no, wait a second, you sure you want me to be a mentor? I told them that I do have a passion for helping youth. I haven't had that for a long time. So I was very pleased that they said, absolutely, we want you to be a mentor.
It's called Queens and Kings Tasting Treats. I have an Instagram, and I make cookies and stuff.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. It is so critically important that you take this serious, right? If you apply it, I tell you with no doubt, these values will change your life. You'll have more confidence. People will take you more serious when you speak with confidence. Hold your shoulders back and be proud. You got to know that you are somebody, right? You got to know that you're great. They don't have to tell me I'm beautiful. I know I'm cute. I know I'm fly. I know I'm smart, right? I know all those things. You may not believe it. You may not like what you see or hear from me, but it doesn't bother me, right? Because I know who I am. And the more you know who you are, the more you can execute your footsteps in your daily lives, right? The key to success is to be confident of who you are.
I'll start off by saying that that all of our houses, like whether it's here, whether it's up in like Bellevue, whether it's like Medina, no matter like what house you have, like whether it's like small or like whether it's big, like whether you're like Bill Gates in Medina or like a home like right here in Rainier Beach, you ideally need like a broker, and like you need an agent to kind of help you buy that home. So that's like the whole like concept of like real estate is like basically like you're buying and selling homes. There's people that like help control that, and that's kind of what we're learning at Coldwell Banker Bain. So like Coldwell Banker Bain, they are a real estate firm out, and then the one we do is in Lake Union, but they're all around the world. And right now, they told us about like the day in the life of a broker. Miss Lindsay Russell is our mentor, and basically like, long story short is that they want to help us get our license, and especially I think that like it's important for young communities of color to basically learn like how do you buy a home, because like we're all going to experience it in our life, and we all want the best opportunity. We all want the idea like the big house, or we want like a good deal on it, right? Where we can like have like a family or just whether for ourselves. So I think it's like really important to like learn how do you acquire that home, who gets the money, where do you put your money in, like who do you invest in. So that's all about Coldwell Banker Bain, and our class where we're learning to get our real estate license at Rockwell Institute out in Bellevue. So me and Elijah are some members along with Amare and Steven, the other NGLU interns, and we'll go there and we take classes on it, and it's kind of like a 3-4 week course, and after that we take like an exam, and our goal is to get a real estate license, and the opportunities are endless with it, and I'm sure Elijah can expand on it, but it's been a really fulfilling experience. I would say my key takeaway of it is that that I kind of explained this earlier, but it's all about consistency, right? So like there's some people that have lots of experience, and there's some little experience in trying to get their license, but like what makes a person successful and allows someone to get that big house or to be able to sell a big house or just like be successful in general is consistency, and also asking questions. Like someone that doesn't ask questions or just sits around or is like often a little quiet, they often won't pertain the information, and we've learned that there. And we learned that the loud people that are often seem kind of annoying, or like the people that like really just like I don't know, attack the teacher and stuff, those are the people that end up successful, because that's all about networking, and that's all about this business. So that's basically kind of what we're going over and taking classes. I hope to get my real estate license soon, here, North Carolina, and hopefully Atlanta too. So
Yeah, so he explained it pretty well. So I'll just kind of cover the things that I think we can really get out of it. For me personally, I do like just a general education, because like he said, at some point, we're all gonna have to either buy a house, apartment, something like that, or either sell it as well. And I just like the general education of being able to know how that whole process goes and how to go about it effectively and efficiency to get the most out of it for me and possibly the other person, like a buyer. I do like that just really anybody can take it, even if you're not just trying to get your real estate license, which I would recommend you do, but even if you didn't want to at the time, it is just a good class just to go in, learn, just get the education if you at some point do want to learn how to sell your house. And I also like that with specifically Coldwell Banker or Rockwell, they allow you to do it in person or online. Personally, I do kind of like the in-person more, just because I get to be in that space, in that area, so I can really focus a lot more. But as well, they also have the online supplements. So with the online supplements, you just log on and you can go to like a live stream of the lesson. So you can be there in the class at home, so you're looking at the same things as them. And as well as you also have the same information on your computer with the PowerPoint that they're showing. And they also provide you with the books as well. So you always have the information on hand, and you can just highlight the book. You can
write on it, mess it up as much as you want to, just to save your notes, save your space, and just keep all the information fresh in your mind. And whenever you need to go back to it, you always have it on hand. Plus, they make it really easy because they have like flashcards, online lessons. So even when you're not in the class, you can always either refresh doing the lesson again or with the flashcards again to get some key terms back in your mind. Or you can just basically test yourself, quiz yourself with like a practice test before the actual test. And yeah, and our teachers are also very helpful as well. They answer all of our questions very, very well. And even if we ask a question that's probably going to come up later, it just tells us, hold on for a second. And, they said they will cover it later, come back to the person who asked the question, and ask if they had any further information they want to get answered. So they are very in-depth and very attentive with the class, and I like that very much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for all the information.
My name is Rubina, and I'm 14 years old.
Hello, my name is Aisha, and I'm 14 years old.
Hi, my name is Sampir. I'm 15 years old.
Hi, my name is Hawa, and I'm 14 years old.
Hi, my name is Fatimata, and I'm 15 years old.
So we got placed into the Hip Hop is Great program, which is a environmental justice centered program. That doesn't mean necessarily we only focus on things like climate change and speaking up for the men, which is always important, but there's also a lot of versatility. We get to speak with people who have degrees in those areas and fields, and also infrastructure justice and how environmental justice and climate change affects our everyday lives. So on Thursdays, we meet 3 times a week. We meet Thursday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Wednesdays, we watch movies independently before Wednesdays, and they're centered around environmental justice with stuff like informing people about stuff that's happening outside of the U.S., so stuff like the Amazon, how climate change is affecting smaller communities, people in third world countries, and then we come together and we speak about it on our ideas and what our takeaways were from those films. And then on Thursdays, we get to go out and do hands-on work in the environment. We go to state parks, and either whether it's cleaning up there or getting rid of invasive species or just writing down logs for the rangers that work there, we get to have hands-on immersive experiences to see what a day-to-day job would look like working in something like that. And then on Fridays, we go to the University of Washington and work with Avila. And that's kind of where the versatility comes in. We get to speak to people who have different degrees, different experiences when it comes to like environmental justice, climate change. Currently, right now, we're talking a lot about how not just climate change, but how like the environment affects people outside of the U.S. So people in smaller communities, how far the U.S. dollar goes, what monthly income looks like for people everywhere, and how the environment comes to play in all of that. I would say my personal biggest challenge would probably be the distance that we travel. We went to a state park a few weeks ago, and it was a 2-hour drive. So I think that was probably my biggest challenge. For all of us as together, I think one thing that we all definitely got better on was being able to be more social and talk to other people. I've seen it in myself, but also in my friends, that they've been a lot more social and better with speaking up.
Some of the highlights for our internship focus on environmental science, and what I've learned is the growth and failures throughout our environment in Seattle and the countries, and the states across the country. And the challenge for me was really like understanding like what's really going on in our environment and the ways of the environment. And just a lesson we all learn. Pretty much we can all play a part in helping the environment grow, and that's pretty much what I have.
My name is Asia, and I'm 17.
My name is Z, and I am 17 as well.
My name is Biko, and I'm 17 as well.
Our internship is UW Avila, which stands for A Vision for Engineering, Literacy, and Access. It's not really under Avela, it's more so under UW because we work alongside undergrads to aid them with their research.
What we're working on right now is a project called the Coin Copter, and we're sort of split up into 3 different parts. Me and Z work together a little more than me and Asia, or Z and Asia. So what me and my mentor do, are we make the propellers for the Coin Copter, because it's just a miniaturized flying device. And so we're testing different angles for the propeller to see which one works the best, and then based on those results, we'll act accordingly.
I then take Iko and I then go on to test the propellers and see how much lift it generates at certain voltages, and then we put those results and our goal was to aim for 2 grams of lift at 4 voltages, and then we record that into our data table and pass the results onto Asia and her mentor.
Yeah, adding on, me and my mentor, we take the fly bar, which is like the finished product, and we'll put it onto a stabilization process thing where we'll lift it up and let it go and see how fast it can stabilize, and then we take those results, and for each voltage, which it goes up to 5 voltages, we record 3 times. So we take all those results and then we graph it.
Research design, Devin. Yeah. You guys did an excellent job at explaining UW Avela. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your tone and your presentation. You did excellent. Give them a hand, you guys.
The most rewarding part of our internship was the weekly trips, Thursdays and Fridays, to the state parks and UW to learn how to help the environment and keep it more sustainable, and also help the environment physically. At the state parks, would help the rangers and to like measure trees or take do timesheets and stuff like that. And one challenge would be the vegan foods I would have to eat. They were not good at first, but then as we got used to it, it wasn't as bad. And one insight is always talk to people, like communicate with people and try new things.
A highlight that I had was going out on Thursdays and stuff and knowing that I could help the environment. A challenge that I had was, and if I don't communicate, I won't get like the help that I need. And insight was, it's always good to try new things.
The most rewarding thing for me really was I've learned about the environment, the growths and the failures about the environment, and I've connected with a lot of new people, and I've seen insights throughout my various of careers. And a challenge for me, I would say, is really understanding the environment at first is pretty hard, and then one takeaway I think we all had is small changes could really have a big impact to everyone's lives in the future or now.
One highlight from my internship is learning about new things and going to new places to help the wild habitats. One challenge I had to overcome in the beginning was to understand everything that was going on with climate change. My lesson is always treat the environment and do what you can to help out.
One highlight of the program for me was being able to go outside into natural habitats and take care of the environment, but also learn more about it and the career paths that deal with the environment. I think one challenge for me was not just talking about climate change and hearing the side effects of it, but also how it affects people outside of the U.S., because I don't think a lot of people talk about it too much, and hearing about it was a little bit challenging, and it was a little bit sad. And one takeaway that I'm taking from this program is that climate change is not the only thing a part of environmental justice. There's also other factors that come into it, and I think the biggest one of it all is us and how we take care of the environment and how we leave the places that we've been and how we
are going to continue to take care of it and keep any damage coming forward from getting worse from how it already is.
I would say a reward. I did two internship programs. One was William Gross Center, and the other one was Caldwell Banker Bain, also Rockwell Institute. The most rewarding thing for both of those, I would say, is networking, being able to meet so many new people. Yeah, from working with the kids and like seeing them kind of evolve over the weeks. And also, yeah, just working with also like other peers and stuff on like different clothing designs and different stuff like that. And I would say a challenge, particularly for Rockwell Institute, which is like the real estate, like attaining real estate license, is that entering a field of so many successful people already can be daunting, but also being like the only person of color there, like one of them. And yeah, representing like a room full of like not that many people that look like me can also be really challenging to speak up and also to yeah, kind of like share my word. And I would say the most rewarding thing though is once you talk to people and once you network, like you figure out that like those successful people are also there to talk to you and also to like share their experience and also want to get to know you and help you. So that's been like yeah, just really rewarding to me is like networking and also just practicing my consistency.
I'm at the William Grove Center, and I think majority of my time there has been fun. I've really enjoyed just interacting with all the people there. I think the highlight for me is just a variety of things I get to do. But also there is a challenge of, because there's so many things, once I'm done with it, there's absolutely like no work. So I'm just sitting around a lot of the time. But I think the insight that I have is just being able to collaborate with people, just different people from all different backgrounds, just helps you grow in just many different aspects of your life. And I just enjoy that and just learning from all those people. And my mentors, especially Henry, it's been fun to hang around. So I just really enjoyed the experience.
My experience at Caldwell Banker Bain, I'll say something that I took out of it was just the general education of it, you know, getting to learn things that I never thought I'd actually get to learn, and also learning how to apply it. But a challenge for me, I would say, it's just the hours. It is pretty long. It's like from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I think that kind of time is like a regular school schedule, and I'm focusing on this one specific thing. So it's easier to focus on that one thing, but it's also harder to, you know, keep the same attention span throughout the entire journey.
One highlight is definitely, or one rewarding feeling is seeing the finishing results being so good, especially after the long hours that we've worked. And that kind of ties into my challenges. The challenges is collecting the data, because it is such a long process. We record it, and then I have to take each file and put it into a drive, and it's just a very long process. And after that, I have to put it into a Google Colab and code it. One thing I'm looking forward to is honestly seeing the ending results, because we're kind of like nearing the end results, but we're not all the way there yet. So I want to see what they will do once the end results are there.
I think the most rewarding and positive aspect of the work we do is Fridays, just because on Fridays it's not really work. There's a big meeting with all the research projects, and everyone represents what they do a PowerPoint on what they did that week and all the changes they made. And it's really cool to see the variety of different stuff people are working on, and like how wide there is with research, like how much different possibilities there are. And then I think one of the most challenging things is when you get like outliers or incorrect results for your data, just because it's so difficult to like try and figure out what's causing your information to be wrong. And then one takeaway I realized is just how important teamwork is, because I know I already said this, but it's so crucial to just be able to talk with your coworkers or whoever it is and just get the job done efficiently.
Highlight for me was on Fridays when we go in and listen in on the meetings. Because on Fridays we're not doing work, we're just, like Iko said, we're going in and listening to everyone's discussion on what they did and what they want to do going forward. and the varieties, again, like building off of Rico's topic, the varieties of different research projects varied from, there was one that wanted to turn drawings into websites. There was one about like consistent jumping and various projects like that, which was really interesting because it tackled different aspects of some of the data we take at times, along with like the usage of glue, because at first we used really thick glue, and after we used thinner glue, our results vastly improved, which was something we overcame with the help of others. An insight would be how crucial teamwork is, because it's not the amount of time it took us to just do our individual parts was short and quite fast, whereas if we tried to do the whole research individually, it would have taken us probably years longer than it would have with a team. So it really made me realize how important teamwork is, especially in big projects like these, where everyone has to be working together for a goal, just so another person doesn't have to work as much.
A highlight is probably on Fridays I just work from home. And the challenge would be, because I just started, so I'm kind of getting used to it. And insight, just have fun with it.
I want to be able to say, you know, Mr. CEO Kingston, what's happening? Mr. Technology Z, what's happening? Tech Vehicle, what you want to be? I want to know what that is so I can recognize you as that. I want to be able to say, Dr. Asia, what's happening? I want to be able to call you guys of the excellence of where you think you want to be. It can always change, but the more that you see yourself in those spaces, the more you walk into those spaces, right? You're not afraid to see yourself. I want to be able to say, Mr. Realtor, Lincoln, I'm gonna need a condo down in somewhere around the world. Can you hook me up? You understand? This is your network. When you guys need someone in those various professions, I want you to be able to call your NGLU crew and use that network to open that door for you, right? Because all of you guys are excellent and all of you will be great. That's my vision of you.